We're doing difficult questions from November 2012, variant 1. This is question number 6. It says the number of passenger journeys per week by train on a certain route is shown by the demand curve in the diagram. Initially, the fare is OP, but it is then reduced to PW. So there is a reduction that happens, which is equal to this amount. Now the new fare is OW. Which area measures the amount spent on the extra journeys? From the lower fares, where the price has gone down, which means the quantity has gone up by RS. Quantity demanded is going up by RS. These are the new journeys, and because for these new journeys you're only paying OW, this means revenue or price times quantity spent on this one would be this region. Change in quantity is RS, and the wage and the price is OW. So UTRS or URST will be the right answer for this question. This is question number 9. It says the consumer spending decreased in recession. A firm tried to keep revenue high by giving discounts to encourage demand. It measured the price elastic demand for its own product and the cross elasticity demand or XCD with its competitors' products. When might such promotion achieve the result the company hoped? So if the firm is trying to keep the revenue high and they're trying to lower the price by giving discounts, then they should have, when the price goes down, the quantity to rise by much more if the good is elastic, because that will result in the total revenue to go up. So first of all, PED must be greater than 1, because if it's less than 1, you may rather want to increase price. Also, you want the XCD to be positive, because the XCD positive would mean the substitutes will suffer as people will move away from the competitors towards your good, and that's why A is the best answer. This is question number 19. It says the table shows the level of output which 3 countries can produce. What would be the most likely outcome? Well, if you look at the opportunity cost for country X, is 25 tons of maize is equal to 5 tractors, which means 5 tons of maize is equal to 1 tractor. And that's the case for all 3 countries, because 75 divided by 15 will also lead to 5 tons of maize is equal to 1 tractor. Similarly, 225 divided by 45 will lead to the same answer. In other words, for all the 3 countries, the opportunity cost is the same, which would mean there should not be any gains from trade between the countries, and that's why D is the right answer. This is question number 28. It says the country X trades with only 2 countries, Nigeria and Malaysia. 80% of the country's trade is with Nigeria. So we'll do this. Country X is trading with Nigeria, where 80% of the trade is with Nigeria and 20% is with Malaysia. The original value of the trade weighted exchange rate is 100. The value of the country's currency against the Nigerian naira rises by 10%. So the appreciation is plus 10% against the Nigerian currency, and with the Malaysian ringgit, the appreciation is 50%. So what's the trade weighted exchange rate index? The way we do this is that we treat 80% as 0.8, and I'm going to say 0.8 times 10% increase. So if the value of the index in the base set is 100, I'm going to say value will now be 110 plus 20% would be this. So I'm going to say 0.2 times the percentage change in index form, which is going to be 50% plus 100 or 150. Okay, so this comes out to be 88 in index form, plus this comes out to be 30 in index form, and that would turn out to be 118. So the value of the index is going to be 118. So the way we find this out is that your volume of trade becomes your weight, which is what we have here, and then we multiply this volume of trade with the value of the index after the change in price. So for example, here it was 10%, so I wrote 110. Here it was 50% increase, so I would write 150, and that's how we multiply the weights with the increase in the or appreciation or change in the value of the currency to find out what we call trade weighted exchange rate. So the right answer for this question is B. This is question number 29. It says in the diagram D1 and S are demand and supply for pound sterling in the foreign exchange market. What might cause the demand curve to shift from D1 to D2? So demand curve is shifting backward, which means something that is happening has to result in a lower exports or lower demand for UK goods, or even lower foreign investment in the UK. All of these factors can result in what we call less inflow and therefore lower demand for the currency. So what may cause the demand curve to shift from D1 to D2? And the right answer would be D, the development of US substitutes for UK goods. If US substitutes for UK goods come about, then the US consumers will not buy UK goods, which means they will demand less of pounds, and that's why demand curve will shift backward. So D is the right answer.